are corners of this planet where reality loosens its grip, places that feel less like geography and more like a fever dream of the divine. Beyond the noise of the modern world lies an ancient stage, a theater, 600,000 square kilometers wide, where the Earth has spent millions of years carving monuments out of dust and ice. Here, the silence is never empty. It is heavy with the secrets of fallen empires and the breathtaking peace of landscapes, so pure they remain untouched by the clamor of our time. This is a haunting collision between the ethereal and the indestructible. You have seen the headlines, but you have never seen the light hidden behind the smoke. The journey begins here, a journey across Afghanistan, not the country printed on the news tickers, but a country of stone, of ice, of temples, and the footprints once pressed into the Silk Road. Band-e Amir sapphire mirrors in the desert. Hidden in the scorched heart of the Central Highlands lies a geological anomaly that defies every law of the desert. Band-e Amir is not merely a chain of lakes. It is a sapphire miracle imprisoned in a fortress of pale limestone. What makes this place singular is the jarring, almost violent contrast between the bone-dry, dust-covered mountains and a body of water so intensely blue, it looks as though cobalt ink had been poured straight into the cracks of the earth. This is one of the very few places on the planet where nature's palette seems to have glitched. The formation of these watery mirrors is a story of patience. Across millions of years, calcium-rich springs bubbled up from deep in the ground, depositing minerals that slowly hardened into colossal natural dams. These travertine walls grew inch by inch, century by century, eventually trapping the glacial meltwater in a chain of 6 distinct basins. The water remains astonishingly clear because the high mineral content suppresses the growth of algae, allowing the depth to reach down nearly 50 meters while staying transparent enough to reveal the submerged terraces at the bottom like ghosts. The largest lake stretches for kilometers, ringed by sheer cliffs rising hundreds of meters into the thin mountain air. When you imagine yourself standing here, you feel the weight of the environment around you. The sun bites at the back of your neck with a dry, relentless heat, while the wind carries the scent of hot stone and ancient dust. But as you step toward the edge of the cliff, the air temperature drops, cooled by the enormous volume of water below. You hear the rhythmic lap of waves against the white stone dams, a sound that feels out of place in a desert. It is a sensory overload of cobalt and ivory, a place where the silence runs so deep that it feels like a physical presence. The deep layer of meaning here is about the persistence of beauty. Afghanistan is so often framed by its scars, but Band-e Amir is its soul. It is a reminder that even on a land that has known so much fire and iron, the earth can still offer a moment of absolute, breathtaking peace. This is the very definition of a hidden paradise, a sanctuary indifferent to the chaos of men. Landmines once ringed these shores like a collar of teeth, but today, children splash in the shallows, reclaiming the water for the living. Bamiyan Valley, the architecture of the void. At the very center of the Silk Road sits a valley that serves as an enormous, hollowed-out monument to what was lost. The Bamiyan Valley is famous for the two colossal niches that once cradled the largest standing Buddha statues in the world. Although the statues are gone, their presence is now felt more powerfully than ever. The singular quality of this place is its architecture of the void. This is where you come to witness the majesty of an absence, a landscape where the holes in the cliff tell a more powerful story than the mountains themselves. The history of this valley is layered like the sediment in its walls. In the 6th century, this was a vibrant hub of Buddhist learning, where thousands of monks lived in caves carved directly into the sandstone. They spent decades chiseling two giants, one rising roughly 53 meters and the other around 38 into the flank of the mountain. These were not just statues. They were beacons for weary travelers carrying spices and silk across the continent. In March of 2001, the world watched in horror as these icons were systematically destroyed, but the erasure only carved their legend deeper. The experience of Bamiyan is one of haunting, quiet, To stand at the base of the tallest niche is to feel impossibly small before a vertical sanctuary that rises like a 20-story building, its faded frescoes still whispering of a lost enlightenment, and its thousands of honeycombed caves forming a suspended city of prayer. You climb the ancient staircases cut into the rock, feeling the grit of the sandstone beneath your fingertips. The wind whistles through the empty niches like a flute played by a ghost, a sound that carries the weight of 1,500 years of history. Preservation now moves through patience, as international teams stabilize the niches, while local children play soccer in the shadow of the cliffs, proving that life does not need statues in order to be brave. The Wakhan Corridor, the finger of God. Stretching like a long, slender finger toward the border of China, the Wakhan Corridor is a place where time has been forced to stand still. This is the most remote corner of the nation, a high-altitude panhandle kinked between the borders of Tajikistan and Pakistan. Its singular quality is absolute isolation. While the rest of the world marched into the modern era, Wakhan remained a sanctuary of the old ways, almost entirely untouched by the wars that ravaged the lowlands. It is the third pole, a high-altitude wilderness where humans live in a state of pure, elemental survival. The corridor is a relic of 19th century border making, created as a buffer zone between the British and Russian empires during the contest known as the Great Game. It extends through the northeast for more than 350 kilometers, where the Hindu Kush meets the Pamir Range. Here, the air is 40% thinner than at sea level, and the landscape is a gargantuan sprawl of gravel plains, white summits, and blue glacial ice. This is the birthplace of rivers, a land where the geography is so broken and so massive that it dictates every human decision. You move not by car but by horse or yak, following trails that Silk Road caravans have used for 2,000 years, spending your nights inside felt yurts with Kyrgyz nomads, sipping salty tea beside fires fed with yak dung. The cold is a constant companion, but hospitality is a fierce, warming shield against the harshness of the environment. The meaning of Wakhan lies in its disconnection. It is a reminder of what humanity looks like when stripped of technology and politics. This is a place where wealth is measured in livestock and survival is a communal effort. The people here may not know the name of the current president, but they know the name of every star in the crowded night sky and the exact path of every mountain pass. The trail is often so narrow that one wrong step ends in a 1,000-foot drop, yet the hospitality here is so thick it feels like a physical warmth. Borders, after all, are fictions of the human mind. In this high wilderness, the only law that truly matters is the law of the mountain. Noshak Peak, the cold sovereign. Rising like a cold, jagged crown above the eastern Hindu Kush, Noshak Peak is the literal ceiling of Afghanistan. As the highest point in the nation, this mountain is a vertical kingdom of ice and broken stone. What makes it singular for the armchair traveler is the sheer, lethal majesty of its scale. This is where the earth reaches up to touch the void, a sovereign peak that commands a sea of lesser giants, a monument to the planet's endurance. The mountain rises to a staggering height of roughly 7,492 meters above sea level. At this altitude, the physics of life change. The sky turns a darker, bruised shade of violet, and the wind can reach speeds that rival a hurricane. It was first conquered in 1960, but it remains a graveyard for those who underestimate its temperament. Geologically, it is part of the massive tectonic collision that created the Himalayas, a slow-motion crash of continents still pushing these rocks higher into the atmosphere. Imagining yourself on the slopes of Noshak is an exercise in sensory deprivation and intensity. Your lungs burn with every shallow breath, and the cold is so sharp it feels like a blade against your skin. You look out from the upper ridges and see the curvature of the earth, with the Karakoram range of Pakistan shimmering on the distant horizon. The silence at the summit is not peaceful. It is a heavy, pressurized quiet that reminds you that you are a trespasser in a world built for ice and wind. The world below dissolves into a sea of jagged peaks stretching like frozen waves of stone for hundreds of kilometers, and a realization hits with the force of an avalanche. You are standing on the spine of a continent. deep layer of meaning here is the Afghan ego rendered in stone. Noshak is proud, unyielding, and unreachable. It serves as a metaphor for a nation never fully conquered because its heart is hidden in heights like these. It is a reminder that there are still places on earth that refuse to be tamed, places that exist purely for their own sake. The mountain does not care about your flag or your politics. It only respects your will to take the next step. Nuristan, the Emerald Labyrinth. Tucked away on the eastern fringe of the Hindu Kush lies a region that shatters every stereotype of the Afghan landscape. This is Nuristan, the Emerald Labyrinth. Unlike the jagged brown ridges of the south, Nuristan is a world draped in deep, saturated greens. It is often called the Land of Light, a title that feels earned when the sun pierces the morning mist to reveal alpine forests so dense they feel like a prehistoric secret. The singular quality here is a startling human anomaly in these isolated valleys. You will meet people with piercing blue eyes, auburn hair, and features that look more at home in the Mediterranean than in Central Asia. They are a living mystery, a pocket of humanity that has remained distinct for thousands of years, sparking legends that they are the lost descendants of Greek soldiers. The history of this land is etched in struggle and transformation. Until the year 1896, this region was known as Kafiristan, the land of infidels, where ancient polytheistic traditions flourished long after the rest of the country had turned toward Islam. Only through a fierce military campaign was the region brought into the fold and renamed Nuristan. The scale of human life here is purely vertical. Because arable land is so scarce, families have built their homes in gravity-defying stacks along the steep mountain slopes. In a Nuristani village, the flat timber roof of one house serves as the porch and communal space for the neighbor living directly above. It is a masterclass in communal engineering, a vertical society where every inch of flat ground is a precious resource. When you step into these mountains, your senses are immediately recalibrated. The air is thick with the scent of rain-soaked cedar and the sweet, sticky resin of ancient pines. It feels strangely familiar, like the rugged wilderness of the Pacific Northwest, yet there is an underlying tension that reminds you exactly where you are. You hear the rhythmic, distant thwack of axes striking wood, a sound that has echoed through these canyons since the Bronze Age. The glacial rivers below rush with a ferocity that vibrates through the soles of your boots. The deep layer of Nuristan is found in its isolation. It is a culture built entirely out of wood, from the carved pillars of their homes to the storage boxes handed down through generations. This is a society that has used the mountain as a shield, preserving a hidden identity the outside world has never quite grasped. Yet the very trees that offer shadow to the warrior also yield the sweetest mulberries you will ever taste, a burst of sugary resilience on a land that demands everything from those who call it home. Dasht-e Margo, the Desert of Death. In the southern reaches of Helmand and Nimruz provinces lies a void, so absolute it earns its terrifying name with every scorching breath of wind. This is Dasht-e Margo, the Desert of Death. Covering 150,000 square kilometers, it is a monument to nothingness and perhaps the most honest landscape on the face of the earth. In this corner of the world, nature has stopped pretending. There are no trees to offer comfort and no rivers to offer hope. Only a vast, sun-bleached stage of clay, stone, and silence. A place where the earth seems to have reached its final, most desolate conclusion. The history of this wasteland is a story of vanished water and the slow, relentless march of time. Millions of years ago, this was not a void, but a network of thriving riverbeds. Over eons, the climate shifted and the water retreated, leaving behind ancient basins that dried into a brutal crust of salt and clay. This is a graveyard of geography, where life was baked out of the soil, until all that remained was a cracked surface that shimmers like glass under the midday sun. Temperatures regularly approach 50 degrees Celsius, turning the atmosphere into a physical furnace that can swallow a traveler's tracks in mere minutes. This is not a landscape that welcomes footprints. It is one that erases them as if they never existed. To experience Dasht-e Margo is to enter a psychological battle with the horizon. The heat conjures mirages that dance and lie to your eyes, promising cool water that is never there. You feel the grit of the famous 120-day wind between your teeth, a dry, scouring force that peels the moisture from your skin and fills the air with a fine golden dust. As you stand in the center of this immense vacancy, you realize the only shadow on the ground is the one you cast yourself, a fleeting, fragile reminder of your own mortality in a world that feels eternal and indifferent to your presence. On a deeper level, the Desert of Death serves as a place of profound purification. In the modern world, we are surrounded by constant noise and digital clutter, but here the desert strips all of it away. When you are surrounded by nothingness, you are forced to confront the core of your own being. Yet even in this kingdom of apparent death, there are secrets waiting in the dark. The elusive sandcat hunts here in a silence you cannot imagine, prowling the dunes like a golden ghost. And while the surface suggests a total absence of worth, this wasteland sits atop billions of dollars in untapped minerals, a hidden treasure chest buried beneath a floor of fire. The minaret of Jam, the lone sentinel, deep in the heart of Ghor province, tucked into a vertical canyon where two mountain rivers collide, stands one of the most improbable structures on the planet. This is the minaret of Jam, often called the Lone Sentinel. It is a 65-meter tower of baked brick that rises like a needle against the jagged gray cliffs around it. The singular quality of this tower is its absolute haunting isolation. There are no nearby cities, no paved roads, and no modern infrastructure. It stands in a void, a solitary finger of art pointing toward the heavens on a land that seems to have forgotten. It exists a mystery that has puzzled explorers and historians for centuries. The history of this tower is a window into a lost enlightenment. Built in the year 1194, it is the last standing remnant of the Ghurid Empire, a power that once ruled territory stretching from eastern Iran to northern India. The tower was likely part of the legendary lost city of Firozkoh, the Turquoise Mountain, razed by the Mongol armies of Genghis Khan. While the city itself was erased from the earth, the minaret was inexplicably spared, standing as a silent witness to a civilization that valued poetry, science, and geometry as much as military conquest. The entire 65-meter shaft is wrapped in a complex lace of brickwork and turquoise tiles that catch the high-altitude light. Look closely, and the calligraphy etched into the terracotta tells the story of Maryam, the Virgin Mary, from the 19th chapter of the Quran, a bridge of faith carved in stone more than 800 years ago. Experiencing the minaret of Jam is not a casual trip. It is a pilgrimage that demands days of jarring travel over unpaved passes and through dry riverbeds. But when the canyon finally opens and the tower suddenly appears against the sky, the fatigue of the road vanishes. You stand at its base, looking up at the three tapering cylinders that form its structure, feeling the verticality of the canyon pressing in around you. When you touch the 800-year-old terracotta, you can feel the faint vibration of the Hari River rushing past just a few feet away. The air smells of cold water and damp earth, and the roar of the river echoes off the limestone walls, creating a natural amphitheater for this ancient masterpiece. The deep layer of meaning at Jam is about artistic defiance. The minaret is a statement that human excellence can flourish even in the most remote and hostile environments. It is a symbol of a culture that refused to be silenced by the mountains or by the passage of time, teaching us that true greatness does not need a vast audience to be valid, it only needs to exist. The river is slowly eating its foundation, gnawing at the very ground that has held it for 8 centuries, yet it stands because the mountains refuse to let it fall. Takhti Rostam, the crown buried in the earth. In Samangan province, there is a place that challenges every instinct we have about sacred architecture. Most temples and cathedrals throughout history have aimed for the heavens, reaching upward with spires and domes, but Takhti Rostam was built to disappear into the earth. This is a subterranean stupa, a Buddhist monastery carved not from the ground up but from the surface down. This singular quality creates a landscape of negative space where the monument is defined by what has been removed rather than what has been added. It is a hidden crown buried in the bedrock of northern Afghanistan, almost invisible until you are standing on the very edge of its massive trench. The story of this site dates back to the 4th century, when the region was a vibrant crossroads of cultures and ideas. It represents a fascinating fusion of Persian myth and Buddhist devotion. Though originally built as a center where Buddhist monks could meditate and seek enlightenment, the name it carries today belongs to the legendary Persian hero Rostam. Local folklore claims this was where the great warrior married the daughter of a local king, showing how ancient legends often wrap themselves around sacred stones to preserve their memory. The formation of this site was a feat of incredible discipline. The ancient builders did not stack bricks or haul slabs. They chiseled away at the solid limestone mountain to reveal the stupa waiting within. The architectural scale of Takht-i Rostam is defined by a massive circular trench that plunges deep into the limestone hill, isolating the stupa from the surrounding ground. Within this excavated void stands the monument itself, a perfectly carved monolith topped by a square chamber known as a harmika. The precision of the curves suggests an advanced knowledge of geometry and engineering that flourished here 15 centuries ago. It is an inverted skyscraper of faith, a structure that occupies its space by hollowing out the world around it. When you visit Takht-i Rostam, the experience is one of quiet, meditative descent. As you step down into the hand-carved trench, the heat of the Afghan day fades and the air becomes noticeably cool and damp, shielded from the sun by thick limestone walls that have stood for centuries. You realize with a start that you are standing inside a mountain hollowed out by hand and by faith. The sunlight filters down from above, illuminating the smooth stone surfaces in a soft glow that seems to shift as the hours pass, the outside world muffled into a profound stillness. The deep layer of meaning found in this subterranean sanctuary is a lesson in humility and focus. It suggests that true spirituality does not always need to seek the sky or grand public displays. Sometimes the most profound truths are found by looking inward and seeking the heart of the stone. On a land that has seen countless empires rise and fall above ground, this monastery survived by choosing a different path named after a mythical Persian hero, not a Buddha, and surviving every war simply by hiding underground. Chehel-Burj, the Fortress of 40 Towers. In the remote district of Yakolang, atop a hill that commands the vast windswept plains of Bamiyan, sits a skeletal giant of mud and stone. This is Chehel-Burj, the Fortress of 40 Towers. But the name is a humble understatement for what this place once was. This is a sprawling hilltop citadel whose towers, after centuries of erosion, look like melting wax dripping down the sides of the mountain. Its singular quality is this haunting, liquid geometry, a massive structure that seems to be slowly dissolving back into the earth that bore it. It is one of the most imposing ruins in Central Asia, a silent guardian of a world that vanished long ago. The origins of Chehel Burj reach back into the pre-Islamic era, likely between the 2nd and 5th centuries, when this region was a vital artery of the Silk Road. It was not merely a castle, it was a strategic choke point designed to monitor and protect the caravans carrying gold, spices, and philosophies between East and West. The original construction was immense, once boasting more than 300 individual towers ringing the hilltop like a crown of thorns. Today, only 34 of these skeletal sentinels remain partially intact, standing over 20 meters high as they watch over a valley that no longer rings with the sound of trade. The experience of visiting Chehel Burj is best captured at the edge of the day. As you climb the crumbling mud brick ramparts at dusk, the harsh Afghan sun begins to dip below the horizon, and the entire valley below turns a deep, bruised purple. The air grows cold and sharp, and the silence is so heavy you can almost hear the heartbeat of the mountain. You find yourself standing exactly where a soldier might have stood 1,500 years ago, squinting into the distance, watching for the dust clouds of a caravan that never came. On a deeper level, Chehel Burj is a meditation on the transience of human ambition. It is a stark reminder that while we build empires of stone and mud to project our power across the land, that power is ultimately temporary. The hill on which the fortress sits is eternal. The citadel is merely a passing shadow. The reality of this place is grittier than any legend. Looters have dug deep holes into the floors searching for ancient gold, finding only the bleached bones of those who once lived here. And today, local shepherds use these once royal halls to shield their sheep from the mountain rain. Mes Aynak, the Copper City. In the rugged hills of Logar province, south of Kabul, lies a place where the wealth of the earth and the riches of the human spirit are locked in a tragic embrace. This is Mes Aynak, often called the Copper City. It is an archaeological spectacle unlike any other on the planet. A sprawling 2,000-year-old Buddhist complex sitting directly atop the world's second largest untapped copper deposit. The singular quality here is this agonizing juxtaposition, a site of profound spiritual peace built upon a foundation of immense industrial value, where ancient monasteries, stupas, and residential quarters are carved into hills literally made of metal. The history of Mes Aynak is a story of how humanity has always been drawn to the treasures hidden beneath the soil. Long before the first Buddhist monks arrived, this was a hub of activity reaching back to the Bronze Age. For over 5,000 years, people have extracted copper from these ridges. But during the first few centuries of the Common Era, the site took on a deeper dimension. Spiritual communities established fortified monasteries right alongside the working mines, proving that economic life and religious prestige could exist in the same breath. The scale of what has been discovered here is breathtaking. Archaeologists have unearthed hundreds of life-size statues, intricate wall paintings that survived nearly 2,000 years, and fragile manuscripts written on birch bark that offer a glimpse into a lost world of intellectual brilliance. To experience Messinac today is to witness a race against time. You stand on the ochre ridges, feeling the dry wind whip across the bare slopes, and you see a landscape divided. On one side, archaeologists kneel in the dirt, using tiny brushes and dental tools to reveal the face of a terracotta Buddha. On the other side, just a few hundred meters away, massive mining trucks sit idling, their engines humming with a heavy mechanical impatience. It is a sensory experience of extreme tension where the slow, quiet work of history is being crowded out by the loud, thumping heartbeat of modern extraction. The deep layer of meaning at Messinac poses a question that defines our age. What do we value more? $1 billion in metal or 1,000 years of memory? It is a place that forces us to confront the true cost of progress. If we dig up the copper to save the economy, we erase the very history that tells us who we are. If we protect the statues, we leave a nation in poverty. It is a landscape of impossible choices, a sanctuary where the past literally stands in the way of the future. The copper might save the economy, but the mining will destroy the history. Mahipar Gorge, the Devil's Staircase. Between the capital city of Kabul and the eastern hub of Jalalabad, the earth suddenly splits open into a jagged, vertical wound. This is Mahipar Gorge, a place known to locals and weary travelers as the Devil's Staircase. It is not merely a mountain pass, it is a terrifying, beautiful ribbon of asphalt that clings with impossible desperation to the face of a sheer granite abyss. The singular quality of this stretch of road is the pure, raw adrenaline it injects into every journey, a high-stakes corridor where the margin for error is measured in inches. The history of Mahipar is as brutal as its geography. For centuries, this gorge has served as a strategic choke point, a natural fortress that has broken the back of countless invading armies. Any power that sought to control the heart of Afghanistan first had to survive the staircase. The scale of the gorge is overwhelming. You are looking at thousands of vertical feet of sheer, unyielding granite, with the Kabul River thundering through the narrow floor below like a silver thread of liquid energy. The rock faces rise so sharply that they often blot out the sun, leaving the road in a perpetual, chilly shadow that smells of wet stone and burning brakes. To experience Mahipar is to engage in a high-stakes dance of physics. As you navigate the hairpin bends, your knuckles turn white on the steering wheel, and your breath hitches in your chest. On one side, the mountain presses against your windshield, a massive wall of rough, heavy stone that feels like it could collapse at any second. On the other side, there is only a gaping abyss, a drop so profound that vehicles at the bottom look like discarded toys. Every meter forward is a calculation of speed, weight, and friction. The deep layer of meaning here is a lesson in humility. In Afghanistan, even the roads demand your absolute respect. Mahipar is a reminder that the land is never truly conquered. It is only negotiated with, and that survival is often a matter of navigating the narrowest of paths between the mountain and the void. This road is more than a transit route. It is a rite of passage, a testament to the endurance of a people who have spent generations moving through the impossible. It is a graveyard of rusted truck frames resting in the river below, as a warning to the reckless, and yet, despite the danger, it is the only way home for millions. Herat, the Blue Soul. Near the western frontier, where the dusty plains begin their slow roll toward the Iranian border, stands a city that feels as if it belongs to a different dimension of time. This is Herat, often whispered about as the Blue Soul. In a country defined by the rugged brown of granite and the harsh gray of limestone, Herat is a sudden, breathtaking explosion of turquoise. The singular quality of this city is its deep, unshakable Persian elegance. It is the cultural heart of a nation, a place where history is found not in books, but in the shimmering reflections of 1,000 tiled arches. The history of this city is a long poetic epic. Once known as the Pearl of Khorasan, Herat was a magnet for the greatest poets, painters, and scholars of the 15th century. It was the crown jewel of the Timurid Empire, a hub where the pursuit of beauty was considered a sacred duty. The city has endured invasions from Alexander the Great to Genghis Khan, yet it has always managed to rebuild its spirit with a refined, intellectual grace. The scale of this heritage is most visible in the Great Mosque, a gargantuan structure of courtyards and iwans that can hold tens of thousands of worshippers at once. Its minarets pierce the desert haze like needles, wrapped in intricate geometric patterns maintained for 800 years. When you step into the courtyard of the Great Mosque, the sensory shift is immediate. You leave behind the noise of the modern street and find yourself walking on sun-warmed marble as smooth as silk. The air smells of rosewater, dry incense, and the faint, dusty scent of old books. You hear the low, melodic murmur of the call to prayer echoing off the turquoise tiles, a sound that seems to vibrate through the very marrow of your bones. Every wall is a kaleidoscope of lapis and cobalt, a sea of hand-cut tiles replaced by craftsmen using the same techniques for 8 centuries. The deep layer of Herat is the realization that Afghanistan is as much a child of Persia as it is of the mountains. The city is a bridge between the rugged tribalism of the interior and the sophisticated urbanity of the West. It proves that even on a land marked by constant upheaval, the human desire for symmetry, color, and art can never be fully extinguished. Herat is a sanctuary of the mind, where the blue soul remains intact despite the storms of the outside world. The tile makers still use secret 14th century techniques passed from father to son in hidden workshops. And despite the headlines, the city remains a calm island in a stormy nation. Kabul, the will to live. Set within a high-altitude basin and ringed by iron mountains that seem to press against the clouds, Kabul is the beating, scarred heart of the nation. It is a city of 5 million people that lives and breathes under a constant, high-pressure sky. The singular quality of Kabul is its incredible, gritty resilience. It is a place where ancient gardens and 16th century royalty exist side by side with the concrete barriers and heavy traffic of a modern political center. It is loud, dusty, and chaotic, but beneath the surface it holds a refined pleasure that most outsiders never get to see. It is a city that has been destroyed and rebuilt 20 times, and each time it emerges with a soul more stubborn and vibrant than before. The history of Kabul is inseparable from the love of the great Mughal Emperor Babur, a man who conquered vast territories and founded one of the world's most powerful dynasties. Babur found his soul in the thin, crisp air of Kabul. He famously declared it the most beautiful place on earth, a land of flowing water and temperate breezes, and loved the city so much that he chose it as his final resting place. Today, Kabul has grown into a gargantuan sprawl of 5 million people, a density that creates a pressurized atmosphere unlike anywhere else in the country. The scale of the city is staggering, a sea of low-slung, sun-bleached houses climbing the steep hillsides, all watched over by the ancient citadel of Bala Hisar. To experience Kabul is to embrace sensory chaos and find the hidden pockets of peace within it. You navigate the narrow, winding alleys of the Ka Faroshi bird market, a place that feels like a pocket of the medieval world preserved in amber. Here, the chaotic sound of traffic and shouting vendors is suddenly drowned out by the melodic chirping of thousands of songbirds, canaries, larks, and nightingales whose songs symbolize the nation's enduring yearning for peace. Then you escape the noise to stand in the gardens of Babur. On these terraced lawns, among the ancient trees and flowing channels, the air cools and the city's roar softens into a distant hum. The deep meaning of Kabul is the personification of the will to live. It is a city that refuses to stay down, remaining loud, dusty, and absolutely unbreakable, despite the weight of its trauma. It teaches us that humanity can find a rhythm even in the most broken of places, and that beauty does not require perfection, it only requires presence. Kabul is the anchor of the Afghan spirit, a place where poetry still lives in private courtyards, and where every cup of tea offered to a stranger is a small act of defiance against the chaos of the world. Kandahar, the throne of dust. Down in the southern cradle of the Arghandab Valley, where the dust seemes to glow with a regal and ancient light, lies the throne of dust. This is Kandahar, a city that functions as the spiritual and tribal heart of the Pashtun people. To the armchair traveler, Kandahar is the city of the cloak, a location shrouded in mystery and deep religious authority. It does not merely sit on the land, it commands it. This is the bedrock of Afghan identity, a place where the air is thick with the scent of history and the heavy, undeniable gravity of tribal honor. The story of Kandahar is a narrative of empires and fathers. It was originally founded by Alexander the Great during his march across the world, known then as Alexandria Arachosia, but it was made truly great by Ahmad Shah Durrani, the man revered as the founder of modern Afghanistan. In the 18th century, Durrani chose this sun-scorched plain as his first capital, weaving the city into the very DNA of the nation. The scale of the city's spiritual importance is anchored by the Kirka Sharif, one of the holiest shrines in the Islamic world. Within its walls rests a cloak believed to have belonged to the Prophet Muhammad, brought here by Durrani himself as a symbol of divine legitimacy. This relic gives the city a spiritual weight that is almost physical. To experience Kandahar is to feel the weight of the sun. The heat here is not merely high, it is heavy, pressing down on your shoulders like a wet blanket left in a furnace. It is a dry, suffocating warmth that forces the world to slow down, making every movement a deliberate act of will. You find yourself climbing the 40-stone steps of Chilzina, a monument carved directly into the jagged mountainside by order of the Mughal Emperor Babur. As you ascend, your breath comes in short, sharp bursts. But the view from the top defies description. You look out over a sea of deep green pomegranate orchards stretching toward the horizon, standing in stark, beautiful contrast to the dust-colored city. These orchards produce what many believe to be the finest fruit on the planet, pomegranates so large, heavy, and sweet they feel like a gift from another dimension. On a deeper level, Kandahar is the root of the Afghan story. It is the place where the national character was forged in the fire of desert wars and the strict codes of tribal honor known as Pashtunwali. If you do not understand the pulse of Kandahar, you do not truly know Afghanistan. It is a reminder that some places are meant not to be changed by the outside world, but to change anyone who enters them. The pomegranates here are said to be redder than the blood spilled for them, and this city continues to decide the fate of the nation through its unyielding grip on the past. We leave behind the azure mirrors and the stone corridors of history, carrying with us the quiet weight of a land that refuses to be forgotten. We came searching for a battlefield, but we found a cathedral, a sanctuary where the human spirit is etched into every tiled arch and every glacial peak. This journey proves that even in the most wounded corners of our world, beauty is not an accident. It is an act of defiance. It reminds us that we are merely small witnesses to a planet far more ancient and resilient than our headlines suggest. But this is only one fragment of the whole map. The shadows of the earth are vast, and many paradises still await. The horizon calls.